Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Creatures. So, this show ran for one season in 1996 on PBS, and it is one of my all-time favorite television shows like ever. Like, I used to love this show. Let me tell you. I was in middle school when this show came out, right? And so, like, I would watch it every afternoon after school. And I remember one time there was a hurricane that hit, and I was pissed because my favorite episode was in the rerun about the cheetahs, because that's like my favorite land animal, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm getting ready to watch the cheetah episode, and I'm gonna record it on VHS, right? Next thing you know, the stinking power went out 1 minute before the show ever came on. Boy, I was pissed. And needless to say, I was unable to record that episode. But, like, this is the show that actually got me into animals. Like, when I was, like, in middle school and I used to watch this show, this was around the time I started to realize, hey, whatever I watch and absorb, like, my mind is, like, remembering everything. And I mean remembering everything to the point where it was almost hard for me to forget stuff around that time. And, like, I was just retaining so much animal knowledge and everything to the point where I wanted to become a zoologist growing up. And I told my mom, and she's all like, "You're not going to be a zoologist because they're going to be having you, like, clean up animal poop in the zoo." She got me mistaken for zoologist and everything. So needless to say, I never became a zoologist. And as the decades have went on, I have like forgotten some of the stuff that I learned watching this show. Man, it's been what, 28 years I think since this show came out and stuff. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was able to find this show on YouTube, but not in the best quality. So it's really hard to like watch. But then it's on Amazon Prime. But it's weird. When I had Amazon Prime, it will let me watch the first couple of episodes, but then the last couple of episodes, like maybe the first, like, I don't know, like 25, it'll let you watch, right? But in the last 25, you have to pay to watch it. I don't understand that if you have Amazon Prime. Now, it's weird on Amazon Prime. They chop it down into seasons, saying it's about 4 or 5 seasons, right? But there's actually one. It's just 50 episodes and everything. And so it was on PBS, and you know how PBS does it, about like 20 something minutes, and it was like no commercial, so it was just great. And see, the thing is like when I was in school, they would make us watch stuff like, I think his name Daryl Hannah, I think his name was, the animal dude, but I never liked his show. It was just, and then they also had us watch that one lady who went to Africa to study the chimpanzees. And as fascinating as those shows were, I just couldn't get engaged in those shows. It felt like I was learning something, which I didn't want to learn nothing. You're in school and you don't want to learn nothing. But watching the Kratt brothers on Creatures, it was like a whole nother world, man. Yes, I was learning something, but I was having fun at the same time because of how they formatted their shows. They're just two wacky guys, like guy bros, you know what I'm saying? And just having fun out in the wild and like investigating stuff. And then, it would cut to like a learning lesson that would be also fun to watch. And then, you go back to like the Creatures Central place where Allison was at. Like she'd be tapping on the computer, telling you stuff here and there. You'll have Tark talk to you and everything. And it was just like engaging. Like it was just so much fun. And they would try to like outrun the animals, see how fast they can go. Could they reach as fast as a cheetah and everything? And so they would try many different ways that they could. They ran, they rode their bikes, they did all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? They did all these wacky experiments and everything. And it was just really, really, really engaging. And that's the thing that gets you hyped and everything. And so this was like really the only creature show I've ever really loved. Like as I grew up and I'll watch something on PBS or Geo, whatever that graphic or whatever that station was called, they would still do their animal show where you learn stuff, but it would just be so boring. It's not fun when it's not the Kratt brothers and stuff. The Kratt brothers just makes it so much better. And I remember, man, like, cause when I say I used to retain so much information, boy, trust me, if you was to give me a test on whatever they talk about on the show, I would ace it with my eyes closed and stuff. I could recite everything back then. And I remember there was this girl I used to like, I tried to impress in middle school. And you know how it is. You assume, okay, girls like animals, right? So I'm just rattling off all the animal knowledge I know. She's just kind of looking at me like, why are you telling me this? I'm like, cause animals are cool. She's like, I don't like animals. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. The one girl I try to impress with animal knowledge, and she just happens to hate animals. Like, what are the freaking odds? And stuff. Like, I couldn't believe it, man. I was pissed. And so the Kratt brothers, what they would do is that they would go around the world and, talk about animals, research, tell them how their life habits were, what they eat, what they do for fun, how they hunt. Mostly the show primarily took place in either America, Africa, or Australia. And we will learn like all kind of cool things about elephants, dingoes, wild dogs. Um, I think which one did they have? Was it the two or three-toed sloth? I can't remember. Um, Ostriches. And what those things in Australia that looks like an ostrich, but it's not? Ewu, I think it's called. It's been a long time. I might don't really remember. They had like kangaroos, wombats and everything. The Tasmanian devil. They went on a search for the Tasmanian tiger, but of course it's extinct and everything. Cheetahs, leopards, Thompson Lagell. Man, there was so many animals. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Peregrine falcons. Then they went to like New York and got to see like all like the foxes and the raccoons and everything. And I learned about elephant dung and everything. And how kids will play with it like it's snow and everything. And like how like I think wild dogs or was it dingoes? I can't remember. They use it for eye snout coordination and everything. And I'm just like, what if the Kratt brothers say dung is clean? Hey, play with it. You know what I'm saying? And the manatees and everything. And it was just so much fun learning about like all these animals and their habitats and stuff. And it was just one of the best shows I remember. And so basically, like, the cast would revolve around that of the Kratt brothers themselves. Martin, who's the oldest, he will always wear a blue shirt. And Chris, the youngest, probably about like 3 years younger, he will always wear like a green shirt. And I never really noticed that they always wear those same colors like all the time. I never knew why until just now. I saw a video of them where they said like for Martin, he likes blue animals. So like he wears a blue shirt, and Chris, he just likes the color green because it's like everywhere with the grass and the trees. So he just wears a green shirt and everything. I never really thought about that like until now. And so pretty much they grew up in New Jersey, and they would just like, go around like, the neighborhood in their yards and just started like, looking and researching animals, collecting stuff like that, like snakes and lizards and stuff like that, getting like invested in stuff like that, right? After college and everything. What was it? Martin, he graduated from, I believe it was it? I want to say Duke University, but I don't think it was a Duke College or something like that. Anyway, he graduated. And after he graduated, he started like working as an like animal assistant, right? first at the Primate Center with that of Dr. Kenneth Glander, researching howling monkeys and stuff. And oh, I remember those monkeys in the show, man. And then he started working for like Patricia Wright at the field station in Madagascar. And then he started working for like somebody else. I can't remember who. Oh, I can't remember. But he started working for somebody else. I want to say Josh Terbra or something like that. At the I'm getting tongue tied. Peruvian Amazon and stuff. While Chris, he was studying biology and stuff like that at Carleton like college. And so they were going like on expeditions and stuff from like 1989 to 1992. And like when I say these dudes are committed, they are committed, man. Like to save money and everything, they would like sleep in tents outside. They would eat peanuts and rice, like just to just to survive on as they like study the animals and everything. Like that is commitment. That is commitment. And I remember Chris told us stories about how he was in Tasmania and he was trying to attract Tasmanian tigers and no, Tasmanian devils and everything. So he found some roadkill, put it on like his car and just drove around to attract them and it worked. But when he was in his tent, a Tasmanian devil literally came inside like his tent and touched him. And so he had to let this thing know, hey, look, man, I ain't dead. Don't eat me and stuff. Because Tasmanian devils, they have a very good immune system and really strong like teeth and jaws and stuff. And so they can literally bite through like bone and they will eat anything that's dead. No matter how many weeks it's been out there because of their immune system and stuff. And so he freaked out, it freaked out. They kind of like went back and forth in the tent and everything like that. But like apparently what got them into wanting to make Kratts creatures was in the 80s they said there wasn't that many like nature shows about animals and stuff, and so they really wanted to do something like that. And so what they did is when they went on the expeditions, they would record a lot of footage, they would edit it and put it on VHS, and then they would show the local kids around in school. And then they showed it to a very important person. I'm trying to think of this person's name. They were the former VP of like Maryland Public Television, because all the other TV stations, they didn't want nothing to do with like the Kratt brothers talking about, oh, your show's cute and everything, then we'll just pass. And so like, this person who was the VP, I think the person's name was Leo Eaton, I think. And so, like, he took it back home and showed, like, his kid or something like that. And the kid watched, like, tape after tape after tape and, like, loved it. He realized, hey, we got something here. So then he pitched it to that of Alice Khan, I think her name is, over at PBS. And then bam, my favorite show came out in 96. Boy, let me tell you. And the footage that you see, the animals and stuff, I always wondered for the longest time, where did they get that footage from? And so, a lot of it they record themselves. It might have been archive footage, maybe, or maybe they just shot it all themselves, like I'm not really 100% sure. And so they were formatted, pretending like, they would be out in the wild near these animals, right? But they was never in proximity of these animals. It was always archive footage and stuff. And, 'cause after a while, I started to realize, okay, wait. they keep acting like they're near these animals, but then it will cut, and then when they cut, the video footage will be completely different. I believe that was their footage they filmed like all those years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it was safer for them to do that, and stuff like that, because a lot of these animals, or all of them, are wild. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, while they would do that, it would cut from that to certain segments and everything, like a Kratz Brothers scientific experiment. Um, is this a salad or is this a sea creature and everything? And that was like one of the coolest things. Like, is this a creature or is this a salad? And sometimes, a part of a salad, like a vegetable is what I'm trying to say. And, you sometimes you just can't tell, you know what I'm saying? Because some of these animals, they mimic the appearance of like foliage and stuff. Now, another person on the show was that of Allison Baldwin, who they would call Al. She would be back at Creature Central on the computer, researching things on the creature web and stuff. And she would help give more knowledge, and she would always look things up on the in the encyclopedia books and teach us more about animals. And she was the kid of the show. Oh, I had the hugest crush on her. So, like, but her real name is Shannon Duff. I never understood why she had a fake name and they had their real names and stuff. It always confused me growing up. And so she will always interact with the brothers via, like, I guess, imaginary webcam, face chat. But, we didn't have stuff like that back then. So, hey, man, they might have been the creators of that. You don't know. And so, like, she would interact with them that way, and she would interact with this little cartoon character I'll get into a little bit later. And so one episode, she actually got, no, 2 episodes, she actually got to hang with them. I'm like, dude, this is like cool, because while they're off in Africa all the time and she's over there like filming the show, probably in Canada, I'm assuming, because she's a Canadian actress. And so, like, they actually got to hang with her. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat and everything. I wonder how well they actually know each other. And so, like, she's just completely disappeared, man. She doesn't act no more, sadly. I remember, like, I've mentioned this before, I think. Like, whenever I talk about, like, Goosebumps and stuff, she appeared in 2 episodes. And they're like a blink and you'll miss it type thing, where she appeared in a costume for one Halloween episode, and then she was in another episode very, very briefly. And then I reviewed the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The quiet librarian type thing, and she was prominent in that. And she was pretty good at her acting and stuff, and she did a couple of more stuff after that in her older years, but then she just completely just like disappeared. She doesn't have a social media account. She doesn't appear in movies or TV no more. She actually appeared in the movie with Kaylee Cuoco, but I've never seen it. It was on YouTube, and somebody uploaded it in like bad quality. So I'm just like, I didn't want to watch it. So I'm just like fast forwarding through, and I could not find her. And I was like mad, man. So yeah, I don't know what the heck happened to her and stuff. She just completely disappeared. And so did her sister. Carrie Duff used to be on the famous Jet Jackson. Now, I've never seen that show, and I regret not watching it. A couple of episodes on YouTube, but Disney Plus will not put it on. And so, like, after her acting career ended and everything, she just disappeared and stuff. And I'm just like, where did those 2 sisters go? Now, the last character on the show was Tark, and he was voiced by Ron Rubin. And so the thing about Tark is that I never realized is that it just spells the word kratt backwards. And so he was this computer generated thing that supposedly lived back in like the dinosaur ages, and he knew a lot about dinosaurs, and he gets pissed when like you don't call an animal by his real name. He doesn't like humans. He's very rude and very sassy. I have no idea what this fake little creature is supposed to be. He's like a combination of a lot of stuff, but he's supposed to be like a dinosaur or something like that. He always looked like some kind of like fox, kangaroo, alligator, or something like that. Oh boy, I swear. And so I was really pissed when I started to realize, hey, there's nothing but reruns and there are no new episodes of the show. Like, where is it? Like, this is one of my favorite shows ever, and it has an awesome intro, one of the best intros I've ever seen with some of the greatest music and stuff. Well, I realized, hey, it got canceled because all of a sudden I started seeing the Kratt brothers again. And I was like, oh, wow, they're back and everything. I'm like, wait, what the heck is this? Tark is gone, Allison is gone, and now there's some kind of lemur called Sabumafu or something like that. That was their new kid show, Sabumafu. And basically, it would be like, you know, sometimes it would be like a real lemur, other times it would be a puppet, sometimes it would be like a cartoon. And it was more geared to kids. And I just never watched it because of that reason. So I really don't know what that show's about. But they've done 3 other shows. One is Wild Alaska Live, which I don't know if I've ever seen that. I really don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think I have, because I couldn't find it nowhere on YouTube. And that was a completely other station when they did that show. Then they did the show Be the Creature, which I was able to find on YouTube, and I love it. It was on like Net Geo or something like that. And it didn't last that long, but basically it was a like more mature animal adventure type show. It wasn't geared to kids. Like, it was the Kratt brothers actually out there next to the animals and everything, as wild and dangerous as they were, you know. And we got to see lots of stuff. Lemurs, we got to see like bears. That was really cool. And then they was literally like lions and elephants, and they show like lions tearing apart a baby elephant and capturing it. And you saw like this one like lion with a baby elephant foot in his mouth, and that was so gross. But then back in 2011, they reappeared on PBS, and they reappeared in a brand new show. Now, this show will be completely different from all their other shows and stuff. It's called Wild Kratts, and it's still on till this day. This is their longest running show. It's mostly just animation, and it seems to be some type of superhero animal show where the Kratt brothers are like these superheroes. I guess they help like animals or something like that, and they have these mechanized suits that they wear that mimic the abilities of like animals and stuff. There's a live action segment towards the end. Because it's geared more to kids, I just don't watch it and stuff, but I'm so happy that they're still on TV, still teaching animals to kids, and still on PBS. But then in an episode of Odd Squad, I saw them in that one night episode, the night shift episode, and I was like, dude, it's the Kratt brothers and stuff. And I hadn't seen them in such a long time because, you know, they gotten older with gray hair, and I'm older now with gray hair, and it's just like, full circle and everything, you know. So that was really cool to see them. So since 2008, I believe, they've moved to Canada to film their new show, Wild Kratts. And, you know, since now they live in Canada and Shannon lives in Canada, I wonder, do they ever like meet up and hang out? I wonder. That would be cool if she could like guest star on their show, you know, like get her out of retirement. So yeah, man, this was just like a really cool, fun show for a lot of people. And people are still enjoying it today on Amazon Prime. And of course, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can watch it in its bad quality on YouTube. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.